Nah. Who is it?
Hi, Ms. Simmons.
Uh-huh.
Hi, my name is Xavier Henson.
How you doing?
I'm fine.
All right.
I'm with the Department of Children and Family Services,
Mm-hmm.
and I just wanted to make sure. I don't know if you remember or not, but when they talked to you the other day about making sure that they wanted to do an assessment to make sure that there was a assessment completed or information to provide for the courts in making a decision about the placement of your children.
Well, they told me that I had 45 days and all this other good stuff. So they said they're going to be returning home. They didn't tell me about any other entities coming in or anybody else.
Okay. Well,
coming in.
do you mind if I have a seat and we can talk about that process?
Okay, come on.
Okay, great.
Close the door.
All right, we'll do.
All right.
Is this seat okay?
Yes, that's fine.
Well, yes, ma'am. You are correct. There is a 45-day period of time in which the department has to make a decision about the placement of the children. And the process is, what happens is, if a child is removed, then the child is removed, and the information based on the removal is submitted to the judge. But then there's also an independent assessment that's conducted to make sure that we identify, one, if there are reasons why the child was removed, what resources are available to place the child or
Well,
back into the
it
home.
shouldn't be any risk because nothing happened in my home. So I don't know I don't even know what this is really all about.
I gotcha.
I
I
guess.
gotcha.
So I'm not understanding. Anyway.
Okay. Well, my purpose today is to identify what resources of support that you have to get a better assessment and understanding of the environment in which the children live in, to identify if there's a need for any resources to be put in place, just to kind of get a overall picture and understanding of the environment in which the children live in, and to try and help as best possible with placing the children back into the home. If
Well,
that's
they live
possible.
in a good environment. We live in the best neighborhood. I mean, it's clean in here, as you can see. It's nothing all over the place.
Yes, ma'am. I see.
They go to school. They have clothes. They have all their needs. I make sure they have everything. So I don't know. I don't understand what resources, what more you need. I make money.
Okay.
So they don't. Everything is paid for them with school.
Gotcha.
Supplies, and they have everything they need. So I'm not understanding.
Gotcha. Well, based on the information that we were given, and due to that was used to predicate the removal of the children, which indicated that talked about the children being maybe touched inappropriately, or there's something going on with them.
Home, nobody been here, but I mean, I got a little spooky, but that's it. I mean, he comes over on Friday or Saturday night, but that's the only time that man is here. He with me.
Gotcha. Well, we want to make certain that one, we make sure we make the right decision to before placing the children back in the home, and then making the right decision about, like I said, if there's a need for some things to be adjusted, or if these allegations are not even true at all. Okay.
So who making these allegations? Where's this stuff coming from?
Based on what the children gave us,
Really?
that was based on the information or the need for the removal.
Oh.
So, like I said, as I said, my job today is just to develop a clear understanding of, one, just truly the environment of the children. Get a little bit information about you, your relationships with them, their relationships with your boyfriend, and in that way they can make an accurate assessment about these allegations to make sure that if there is some truth to them, then making certain that we can do something or put a plan in place such that we can prevent things from like this happening again. Or if the allegations are false, then we can place the children back in the home and you can move forward with just their daily family
Well, if
activities.
y'all going on what children say, I don't understand it, because children, especially I have girls, so they are very jealous because they're so used to me just being with them. So everybody touch the children.
And this is exactly why I came today. Is to make sure that we do make the right decision about.
Well, I hope y'all make some decisions quick, cause I got to move out, going on a cruise soon.
I got you.
Amen.
Where you gonna go?
I don't know where he's taking me somewhere, I don't know.
Okay, all right. Well, in order to try to get to that point, there's some questions that I need to ask today.
What kind of questions?
Just general questions about you, age, date of birth, things of that nature, your relationship with your children, your boyfriend, family members. But then there's some specific questions I'm going to ask you, such as, are your children ever alone with your boyfriend?
Never.
And if so, how long? Things of that nature, okay?
I believe in it.
Okay, but is it okay if we
Sure,
complete?
come on, hurry up.
Okay, great.
I got to go to church.
I got you. All right, this should take us about maybe 30, 45 minutes at the most,
That
okay?
long?
Well, I want to make sure that I get detailed information in order to be able to submit back to the court system. And actually, the talking is basically going to be done by you.
Oh, easy.
I'm going to ask the questions, but I'm listening to you.
Oh, okay.
Now, I do want to make sure that I take notes to make sure I get accurate information. So what I'm writing down is just the things that we're talking about. Okay?
Now, don't write all that stuff down and misprint what I said now.
Exactly, and that's why I'm letting you know that
Okay.
when I take notes, I want to be open with the information that we talk about. Okay, so in my note taking, now I will make sure that I take accurate notes and that the notes are specific and the truth, the honest information, because I want to make sure that we make the right decision.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
All right. I'd like to proceed by asking you the correct spelling of your name, your full name.
My full name is Mrs. Simmons.
Okay. And your first name, Miss Simmons?
Jolene.
Okay. Do you prefer Miss Simmons? Do you prefer Jolene? Just for this conversation.
Jolene is fine.
Okay. All right, Miss Jolene. Miss Jolene, I want to ask you, what's your date of birth?
8/27/1973.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And that makes you
44.
44. Okay.
Yeah.
And you have a birthday coming up soon, huh?
Amen.
All right. Good deal. Miss Jolene, let me ask you. Are you currently employed?
Yeah. Didn't I just tell you I was working? I just told you I was working. I make money.
I apologize. Where are you currently employed?
I basically work at the hospital.
Okay.
I'm a tech.
And what hospital is that?
That's it's the new behavioral hospital. Actually, I work at a behavioral hospital over off of Florida Boulevard.
Is that Apollo?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yes,
Yeah, that's
yes,
a relatively new hospital.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
You indicated you're a tech there. So, what do you do as far as like your job requirements?
Just making sure everything is taken care of, making sure the patients are in their room safe, and that's what I'm saying. I keep my children safe. I know how to keep everybody safe. So that's what I've been doing for the last 15 years. I got my little associate degree and stuff. So I don't know what I don't understand all of this.
Okay. All right. So you indicated you've been like caregiving for the last 15 years, but the 2 of those 15 have been at the hospital. Okay. All right.
No, I've been working at the hospital. Well, I've been working in the hospital facility. This is the new one.
New one.
Yes.
Gotcha. Okay. Yes. All right. Now, you indicated that you have a boyfriend, and that's the reason we're here. What is the correct spelling of his name?
His name is Damon Jones.
Okay. And how old is Mr. Joel?
Mr. Joel is 73.
Okay.
Yeah, he's a little older than me.
And you indicated earlier that he comes by on Fridays.
Yeah, because he likes to go to the little hangout down the street,
Gotcha.
and then he'll pass on by on his way on in.
Okay. All right. How long have you been dating?
We've been dating for the last, off and on for maybe about 2, 3, 4, 5 months.
Okay. All right. And he comes by on Fridays. How often is this? Every week? Is this
It's every week.
every week?
Because when he get that little check, he'll mama out. Yeah, he'll mama out.
Okay. So what I'm hearing you say is that he kind of helps contribute to the well-being of the household.
Yes, he does. Yes,
Okay.
yes, he does. Yes, he does.
All right.
So come on by after 5.
Gotcha. Good deal.
Yeah.
Okay, Miss Jolene, let me ask you, how long have you been living here?
I've been living here, last 2, 3, 4, maybe about 6 months.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And prior to living here, were you in a house or an apartment? Or?
Yes, I have been living with other family members because I have family members that work with the government and stuff, and they help me out. And I have really prestigious people in my
Okay.
in my family.
Okay.
Can I answer my phone real quick?
Certainly.
Is it okay?
Yes,
All
ma'am.
right. Okay. Thank you.
Mhm.
I appreciate it. Oh, that's not nobody. So okay. All right. All right. No, I'm
Okay.
sorry.
So, just let me kind of get a focus for where we are.
Uh-huh.
You've been at the hospital for the last 2 years, but you've been in caregiving for the last 15.
Yes.
And as far as your boyfriend, Mr. Joel,
Mm-hmm.
he
He's 73.
73.
I don't know his date of birth though.
Okay.
I don't know.
All right. And y'all been dating about the last 2-3 months, you
2,
said?
3, 4, 6 years.
Okay.
6 months. Yeah.
6 months. Okay.
Mhm.
And you see him just about every week, though, right?
Pretty much. Yeah.
Okay. Right.
Mhm.
And he does help with contributing to the
Yes.
household.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. And also, just a recap of
Mhm.
being currently here. You've been in this current residence for the last 2 to 3 months.
Yeah.
Okay, but prior to then, you were living with some family members.
Yes.
Okay.
Because we got on our little feet, and they helped me and everything, especially getting the girls in order. So we pretty, we getting stable. We stable. I make, like I said, I make money now.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. All right. So let me ask you, how would you describe your relationship with your daughters?
I do everything with my babies. I take them. We go to the little amusement parks. We do family little trips with other family members. We go to different places and we hang out. We do the ice cream thing on some Saturdays or the movies or whatever. So we definitely I spend a lot of time with my girls.
Okay, gotcha. And would you say that how would you describe the relationship between your daughters and your boyfriend?
They really don't see him because he come in after 5. My girls are usually gone because I let them go and stay with other family members when he comes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah, so I don't keep my girls around him.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Have
Must
they?
be happening.
No, I do agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
What are their thoughts? Have you ever talked to them about your boyfriend as far
I
as?
didn't think they knew because,
Oh.
like I say, they are gone.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. So essentially, what I'm hearing you say is that they don't even know about you and your boyfriend.
Mm-mm. They don't even know how close we are.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
They don't know how close we are.
Okay. Now he is aware of you that you have daughters, correct?
He's aware.
Okay.
Yes.
What does he think? Does he have any children?
He has older kids.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I think his kids might be around my age. Some of them. Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right.
Mhm.
And he doesn't have any contact. Does he have contact with them? Does he speak with them?
Oh, I don't know.
Okay. All right.
I don't know.
And he's had no contact with your daughter, so they don't even know anything. About
Yeah, my daughters don't. I didn't even think they know about him because
it. Gotcha.
they're gone.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Okay.
they're gone.
So, what I'm seeing is based on the time frame in which the two of you have been dating, and in talking with you about the relationship between you and him, and then him and your daughters, they don't even know him. So
They don't know.
this is helping me to kind of develop or to narrow down where there may have been some situations or to try to find out what part these allegations or the situation may have happened that they allege have happened.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so what I'm hearing you say is that you were staying with some family members, or what I said
Yes.
earlier, you were staying with some family members prior to you moving into the apartment.
Uh-huh.
Now, prior to moving into the apartment, because it seems as if I want you to correct me, looking at the time frame, you met your boyfriend before or after moving into this apartment?
I met him after the fact.
Okay.
Yeah, because it was around, actually, it was really around the time we was moving in.
Mm-hmm.
It just happened. It just happened. We was at the store and we got to talking. That was it.
Okay.
Because I was getting a couple of things as we was moving in or whatever.
When you were at the store, did they
The
notice?
girls,
Yes, ma'am.
they wasn't with me.
Okay.
They
all
wasn't
right.
even. That's what I'm
So
saying.
what I'm hearing you say is that they don't even know this man.
They don't know the man.
Okay,
So
all
I
right.
don't know where all this other stuff is coming from.
Gotcha.
Mhm.
Well, let me go back then.
Uh-huh.
Earlier when we talked about you moving into this apartment, you've been here 2 to 3 months, but prior to that you were staying with family members. What
Mhm.
family member was that? Who were you staying with?
I was staying with a brother
Mm-hmm.
and his wife, and then we lived there for about a couple of weeks or so.
Mhm.
And then from there we left and went to a cousin's house.
Okay.
Just until we got ready to move and do the deposits and all that stuff.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What I'd like to do is just take a look at each one of these entities and kind of explore a little bit about the
Mhm.
situations and settings at the brother's house, and then the situations and settings at your cousin's house.
Okay.
So now, with your brother and his wife, you were
Mhm.
there. You were with them for about 2 weeks or so, correct?
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me a little bit about the goings and comings in the house, like, you know, your time at work. Where were your daughters when you were at work, when you were at home? Who may have been at home? Can you kind of explain to me a little bit about, you know, what was life like during that
Well,
time?
they was at home with my brother and his wife and stuff. They was there.
Mhm.
And they was they'll stay with them. I know we had sometimes I'll come home and there's other little I guess kids are there that around their ages or whatever, and they doing movies and all those different things. So
Okay.
yeah.
Was there ever a time in which you can think of that your daughters may have been at home alone with your brother, or even with their uncle, or even with their aunt?
They wasn't supposed to be.
Okay.
Cause I don't play that, you know. I don't like no men or even if it's a close relative, a male relative. I don't like them, you know, around girls or whatever without my presence.
Okay.
So if I'm at work,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I would think.
Okay. So tell me about
You know.
during that 2 weeks when you were there with
Mhm.
with your brother.
Mhm.
What was your work schedule like? What, like, you work evening shifts, morning
It
shifts?
vacillated.
Okay.
It went back and forth.
Okay.
Yeah, it went back and forth. It sometimes I work night 6 in the morning to 7,
Mhm.
and sometimes I work 6 in the evening to 7 at night. So it just depended.
Okay.
Yeah.
What were the work schedules like with your brother and his wife?
My brother, he mainly went to work. From what I know,
Mm-hmm.
he would usually be gone by the time I get up and got ready to go. So maybe 4 or 5 or so in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
He usually be gone.
Okay.
But then when I got home, he was there.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
And during the time frame, so, and what I'm doing is I'm trying to see, based on just time frames,
Mhm.
could there have ever been a chance in which your daughters were at home with your brother, or your daughters were at home with their aunt?
They wasn't supposed to be. I mean, nobody never let me know that.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay.
Nobody let me know.
Okay.
So, or nobody said anything. That's
Okay.
nobody said anything.
Okay. So would you say that during the 2 week time frame you were there, you worked more day shifts and were at home in the evenings, or I know you said that the time frames alternated, but you maybe worked more day shifts or more night shifts during the time?
Well,
frame?
sometimes, like say for instance, like a Sunday, I go Sunday morning.
Mhm.
Then maybe Tuesday, I go Tuesday night. Then maybe Wednesday or Thursday, I go at night. Or I'm sorry, in the morning.
Mhm.
And then maybe work another night shift the weekend or so.
Okay.
So it went.
It varied.
Yeah.
It varied. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And it seems like it varied often. Then
Yeah,
throughout the time
it was
frame.
never a set.
Schedule in which you work.
Yeah, that I'm
Okay.
working Monday through Friday.
But your brother, did he have a set work schedule?
I never paid attention.
Okay.
Mhm.
And what about his wife? What does she?
She didn't do nothing. She stayed at home.
Okay.
She don't do nothing.
Okay.
Yeah, she don't do nothing. She stay right there in the house.
All right. All right. All right.
Yeah, she don't do nothing. She actually take his money.
All right.
Mhm.
So now, the 2 week time frame that you were with your brother and his wife,
Mhm.
you indicated that there was a transition into your cousins.
Yeah, I had some cousins, and there was about 4 of them in one household, including me and my girls.
Male cousins, female cousins?
It's both.
Both?
Mm-hmm.
One male, 2 male? What would you know? I mean, who's who? Like, what are the cousins' names?
Oh Lord, we had Jonathan there.
Mm-hmm.
Smiley, he was always there too. Smiley, that's one of the cousins.
That's his birthday?
That's his birthday. Smiley.
Okay. That's unique.
Yeah, very.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Stephen, he was there.
Uh-huh.
And they had their girlfriends and stuff there too. And one of my females, her name was Debrina.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, how long were you with your cousins? How long did you stay there?
Oh, we stayed there maybe about a month or so before we actually got ready to go into the apartment.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And during that month's time frame, did your work schedule kind of stay the same, where it varied a lot?
Yeah, it varied a lot. And what I would do at times, I would basically either take my kids to a neighbor's house sometimes because they wanted to play with other kids because they didn't have no kids there.
Uh-huh.
Or I bring them back to my brother's house and let them play with the little kids there. Mm-hmm.
So your daughters went to the neighbor's house?
Yeah. Archie.
When you were at work?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Does Archie have any children at his house?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, a bunch of them. There's about 10 kids there.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a bunch of them. Yeah.
Okay.
Him and his wife have a big family.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And let me go back. Any of your cousins, they work?
Yeah. Let me take that back. I think Stephen didn't work. He was at the house.
Mm-hmm.
Because he always sit under the tree.
Okay.
And Damon, he would be there most of the time too. And Debrina, they'll be at the house.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about Smiley?
Smiley
Jonathan?
worked. Smiley cut hair.
Okay.
Yeah, he cut hair. Now Jonathan, I think Jonathan was mostly gone during the nighttime.
Uh-huh.
He was there during the day. He was gone during the nighttime.
Okay.
Yeah. But he lived that other life. He was a.
When you say other life, what are you referring to?
He had a significant partner.
Ah, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, he lived that other life. Yeah. So he was gone with his little boo at the time. Yeah.
Okay, so he didn't spend much, so what I mean says he didn't spend much time in the house.
He always been gone with his little boyfriend.
But the 4 of them lived together and that was his primary residence?
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you mentioned, we talked about Debrina,
Mm-hmm.
and then we talked about Stefan.
Yeah.
Smiley cuts hair.
Yeah.
And then Jonathan, he spent a lot of time at his partner's house.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, as far as the time frame in which you were working, were there times in which your daughters may have been at home alone with any of your cousins?
Let me think. Possibly once, so maybe I went to the store or something. That was it.
Okay.
Yeah, I went to the store, but that was it. Because sometimes they didn't want to go, or they was tired, and they didn't want to get up out the bed because I was going too much or whatever. Because I mainly had to cook a lot in the house. I had to do a lot of the cooking in the house and stuff.
Okay.
And they didn't want to eat nobody else's cooking.
Okay.
So everybody just wanted me to cook for everybody.
Okay.
So
Okay.
if I went to the store, that was pretty much it.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you mentioned Archie, who's the neighbor. You
Yes.
allowed them to go there sometimes.
They have 10 kids.
10 kids,
Mhm.
gotcha.
Yeah.
Now, you allowed them to go to Archie's when you would go to work?
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
Yes. Uh-huh.
Okay. And of the kids, how many of them would you say are boys, girls?
Ooh, Lord. Looked like he had 6, must have been 6 boys, 4 girls, I want to say.
Okay. Is Mr. Archie married?
He is married.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. But he has a girlfriend, too.
Okay.
Yeah, he has a girlfriend, too. Yeah.
Okay.
Because sometimes when the wife go out of town, the girlfriend come over. And I think the kids, see all that.
How often do you know how often his wife went out of town?
No, I don't. I never paid attention.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
And as far as the kids visiting Mr. Archie,
Mm-hmm.
you said that you let them go when you was
Yeah, because they always want to play in the backyard of the hula hoops with the kids and stuff. They had the jump ropes and they had that trampoline thing.
How often would they go there?
Oh, probably every day almost. Yeah, I'm about there.
And they would stay the entire time you were at work, or would they go and then they would come home after?
They'll go for a little while, come home, especially if I'm off, they'll go for a little while and come on back to the house or whatever.
And that was if you were off, they would go and come back. But if you were at work, would they stay the entire time you were at work?
Yes, sometimes, yes. It wasn't all the time.
Okay.
So how much longer we got today? I got to go.
Well, this is the thing.
Uh-huh.
The information that you've given me, because the allegations based on the children being removed from the home is indicated that your boyfriend was the one who was the alleged perpetrator.
Wow.
And based on the
That's
information that you've given me, he didn't know them,
Yeah.
nor did they have any knowledge about him. However, just in our talking conversations, there are some things that may come up once they sit and review the information about maybe the time frame in which they were at home with your brother and his wife, or even with the cousins, or even.
Well, how did this stuff go?
Well, one of the things we try to do is identify if they're, based on the information that they gave us, where there may have been a situation happening. Now, I will tell you that based on the allegations that they talked about, as far as the boyfriend being the person who had allegedly committed or perpetrated these crimes, and then based on what you're telling me, these are two different situations. Now, I'm not making a decision, but the information that you're giving me indicates, and particularly knowing that, or from you, that they didn't know him and he didn't know them, that there may be, some things that they may need to take a
They
look
would
at.
always eat on Friday night when he would come out to 5. They would either go to Archie house or my cousin's.
Okay.
And she'd stay over there.
Okay. Now, I will tell you this. Based on what the children said and based on their allegations and looking at where they said this happened, there's some things that don't match up, but I'm not to make the decision. I'm just to collect the information. However, in talking with you about, where they go and who they're around, they may make some recommendations about making sure that there's a plan in place, or they may even inquire a little bit more about some of the situations that the children were in, when they were with other people, and if that was the case. But based on just the allegations that came to us about the boyfriend being the one that was a perpetrator, and then talking with you, it doesn't seem as if they knew him. Gotcha.
You can barely see.
Okay, but as I said, today it's not me who will make the decision, but it's me who, giving them the information about, one, based on what they said, and then talking with you today, and then giving the information back to them about just trying to match and see where we were with if this could possibly have happened in this particular setting with the boyfriend. Okay?
But can we finish this another day?
Well, I'll tell you what. What I would like to do is, there are a couple more questions I'd like to ask you, and it's not going to take long.
Well, you told me it wasn't going to take long these other quick. We done went through a whole...
True.
Yeah, you told me.
Now, I do want to ask you this. Would you rather me come and run through the information and not get the accurate information, and then that have a bearing on whether or not you get the children? Or would you rather
get my children back because they ain't nothing happened.
Gotcha. However, we can't make the determination without the correct information. So in order to make the correct decision, we need to get the correct information in order to make the right decision.
Well, I told you, I hope my babies be around because I do have to work and stuff.
True. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, because they don't even deal with their daddy. So So I mean.
Yeah, and like I said, we wouldn't be able to make the right information had we just rushed through this.
Okay, well come on.
Okay, all right, and I understand you have to go.
Yeah.
So there are just a few more questions I do want to ask you. Now, you did indicate that you work and your boyfriend work, and that he does contribute to the house.
Yeah.
I do see that the home is well kept. Okay.
So we got a table and everything, we got all that stuff over there.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Are there any family members that you rely on that or supports that the children
You can't
know?
depend on family.
Gotcha.
You can't, they say they gonna do something, and then it is always some hoopla behind it,
Mhm.
and I don't feel like dealing with the people with all that, so,
Mhm.
no,
Okay.
no.
Is there anything that you can think of, or any situation that you can recall that may have happened, or there's anything that the situation that your daughters may have been in that you think that may have prompted them to make these allegations?
They got mad with me because I didn't wanna go to Liberty Lagoon,
Okay. Okay.
and I told them I had no money, I mean, and my little spooky, he had already, did what he was supposed to do as far as for the month and paying the things that he said he would help me pay. But other than that, it was just what it was. That we wasn't going to go.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Well, I will say this.
Mm.
Based on your perception of what's going on, I think that the kids do know or have some knowledge about your boyfriend. And I will say that. Because the allegations that they made are against your boyfriend.
Uh-huh.
So-
So how do you come up with that? How did you come up with that?
And this is based on their report.
Okay, if it's based on their report, and I'm telling you that they don't know him, he only come by on Friday after 5, they not here. So how you came up with that?
Well, that, and once again, I said, this is based on their report, so my job is to follow up.
So what
on
is their report?
Their report is that your boyfriend allegedly touched them inappropriately.
When?
Well, that's why I'm here to at least try to get some
We ain't
insight.
got to the bottom of it yet. We ain't told me nothing yet, cause I'm telling you where they be at, so.
Well, it's not my decision to get to the bottom of it. However, it is my responsibility to ask questions about possibilities that could have happened. And based on talking with you,
Possibilities.
exactly. And based on talking with you, I didn't get any information from you that would have rendered a possibility that could have happened.
Exactly, y'all be right there.
Exactly. However, I will tell you though, either them making it up or they are aware. Now I will say that, based on them saying that it was your boyfriend, okay?
Yeah, I don't know why I'm trying to say something like that, cause like I said, he come after 5 on Friday, be gone.
Gotcha. Okay, okay. Well, those are all the questions that I have today, and like I said,
Oh, I'm glad.
the information that I have, I'll report this back to the agency, and it's not mine.
I know what you're saying, yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
I understand.
Yes, ma'am.
Amen.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, listen, I thank you for your time today, and I thank you for the opportunity to meet with you,
I'm glad you
And,
came.
and I appreciate all of your help. Okay.
Okay,
All right.
all
Thank
right,
you.
thank you.
All right.
Okay, go ahead, you can go ahead and let yourself out.
Yes, ma'am.
All right,
All right.
all right, thank you. You gotta throw that away?
I'm gonna take it with me.
Okay,
I appreciate you.
okay, thank
Thank
you.
you.
All
All right.
right, okay.